So be it, Jedi. He's no good to me dead.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
You know what's going on?
Hello and welcome everybody to this, our inaugural episode of Star Wars After Hours. I am Stefan Spallino. Boys, state your name for the record.
I am Josh Combs.
And I'm Gian Spallino.
So, episode number 1 of Star Wars After Hours.
Yep.
We are 3 Star Wars fans. We're going to be bringing you news. We're going to do some theory crafting, toy reviews. Maybe not toy reviews, but I don't know.
We're going to
do everything Star Wars.
We're going to talk about what we like.
Yeah, we're going to talk about things we like. We're going to keep it light, keep it fun, keep it interesting. It's a great time to be a Star Wars fan. That's why we're doing this now. We've wanted to do it for a while. We're still getting all our equipment ready and getting ready to go. We're going to talk about today, we're going to do some Han Solo stuff, the Han Solo film.
Han Solo, Han Solo
we're
film.
gonna touch on that. We're gonna go over Rogue One, maybe get into a little Force Awakens, and talk about what the podcast is gonna be about, basically how it's gonna go. We're all huge Star Wars nerds, and we can bring a unique perspective to podcasting, I believe. And with that, should we get into the Han Solo stuff now?
Okay, so just the other day, the director Chris Miller for the Han Solo standalone just tweeted out a picture, and I don't think you've seen this yet, Stefan.
I haven't.
Okay, so check this out. So they're starting principal photography. So right here it shows us Star Wars Red Cup.
Interesting. What is the Red Cup? Do you know? Is that a code word for we're starting now? For principal photography? What is Red Cup?
Okay.
Is that the code name for the movie? Like
that's the
Space
code name
Bear?
for the movie? Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
like Space
gotcha.
Bear. So it's, for episode 8, before we knew it was The Last Jedi, it was Star Wars Space Bear. And so this one, the working title is Red Cup, and also on the tweet it said Han first shot. So it's like Han shot first, but it's the first shot.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, but I was like, people were dissecting it and stuff, and like the first thing I was like, Red Solo Cup. It's like, dude, there's so many like stupid little puns in this, like
Red Solo Cup. Yeah,
Yep.
I get it. That's perfect.
Yeah. So
I'm
it's
guessing
like,
that's why they did that. Red Cup.
Yep.
Star Wars Red Cup.
Mhm.
Han Solo standalone.
Yep.
Red Solo Cup. It all comes together in this beautiful galaxy.
Yeah.
So I know basically nothing about this movie. I frequent Star Wars speculation Reddit, Star Wars Reddit, making Star Wars, all that kind of stuff. And the only thing I've really gleaned from this movie is that Woody Harrelson is going to be Han Solo's mentor.
Yeah.
And that is all I've known. It's been kept under some pretty tight wraps.
Yeah, obviously they all are, and especially because that's, it's just starting filming and it's coming out in I don't know, do you know if they changed it from May to December? Because they were going to have it come out May 2018, and then
It might have been pushed back. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think there was something with some kind of strike in the UK, I think, with like lighting technicians. I think that's why episode 8 got pushed back, and I think that kind of just borked the whole schedule.
Yeah, 'cause it's
episode
way too
8 was
close.
supposed to come out in like June, I think.
Yeah, usually they're aiming for Because like the original one was like, was it May 4th, something like that? I don't know.
I think they were all June.
The original ones.
Yeah.
Let me look it up. But anyways, like Woody Harrelson, they talked to him, and apparently he's playing Garrus Shrike, which is a character from the Legends, I guess.
Well, we think he's playing Garrus Shrike. I know the interview you're talking about, and they kind of like put him on the spot.
Yeah.
Real quick, and are you playing Han Solo's mentor, Garrus Shrike? And he kind of, it almost reminded me of when there's a panel, I think it's Star Wars Celebration, and somebody asked, I think J.J. Abrams, no, it was Lawrence Kasdan, if Plagueis was in Star Wars Episode 7, and he was all, who? Darth Vegas? Or something like that, and he had no idea what they were talking about. It kind of reminded me of that situation. Woody Harrelson was just kind of, they asked him if he was playing Garrus Shrike.
But it was also in the same question as, are you playing his mentor?
Yeah.
So maybe if they cut the question there, he would have said the same answer.
Yeah, and he was kind of like, yeah. So I wouldn't think too much about that. But
okay. Release May.
Oh no, you're right.
25th, May 21st, and May 25th. So I think that we're going for May for the Han Solo film, but they pushed it back because whatever was it, lighting strike.
Yeah, I think. I mean,
well, that's why they pushed back 8.
That's why they pushed back 8, and then I'm sure that kind of had a domino effect.
Yeah, of course, because that'd be way too quick. Because it's like,
was 7 supposed to be in May, or was
I think 7 was always supposed to be December.
That was always supposed to be December, because I think they wanted to start out with like a holiday movie, you know, that type of not a holiday movie, but a movie within the time of the holiday season.
Yes,
where a lot of people go, and where a lot of people receive a lot of movie gift cards.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Which I did. So my girlfriend's mom, she was going to get me that the ultimate Rogue One pass thing or whatever, the one that you could go in as many times as you want.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like $120 or something like that. Not bad at all. But there was only like 1,000 of them. So like they just missed it. It like sold out. They did it like that day that it came out and was already sold out.
Well, how many times do you have to see it to get value out of that though? A lot.
Dude,
$120 is insane. It's like $12 a ticket, man.
Well, I mean, you can see like the 3D, like the RPX, all that stuff. So that's like $16.
Gotcha.
Know? But since she couldn't get that, she ended up giving me $150 in Regal gift cards.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I still have some of them, but I've seen it 5 times.
I think I'm at 4.
You're at 4?
Yeah.
What about you, Gian?
You're at 3, right?
3, yeah.
3? Yeah. 2D, 3D? What?
2 of them 2D and then 3D.
I still haven't seen it in 3D.
You haven't seen it in 3D?
No. It hurts my eyes, man.
Yeah. See, it's not as good in 3D as Force Awakens was. Force Awakens was good because I think they planned it halfway through, where it was like, we could make this really good. And even J.J. Abrams said that he enjoyed watching the 3D version better, you know.
See, I think we're close, but I just don't think we're quite there yet. It just doesn't, it doesn't do it for me.
I think also Gareth Edwards, he is more of a... he's more of like an old school film type of guy. So he messed around with a lot of different like lens blur and stuff, perspective, all that stuff. So it's I think he wanted to achieve that film look. So you could tell that 3D was added well into post. So they didn't plan for that 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't really anything that like popped out or.
Gotcha.
You might as well just see it in 2D. It's.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it because I like the RPX screen. The whole like the seats are really nice and better sound system. But it's like I wish they showed 2D movies in like the RPX thing. They never do. It's always in 3D.
So, how do you guys feel? What are your basic feelings about there being a Han Solo standalone?
I think there needed to be something about his past because everyone wonders where he comes from. Like. Because, I mean, he's the real, like, who are his parents? You know, I mean, maybe someone probably wrote about it in like the 90s in Legends now, but it's like
badass, like his parents were like badass smugglers. Or
yeah, it's like now in the comics we find out who like Poe Dameron's parents are, and I guess they have some type of connection to the Force. So we might go back and see that might be maybe Han Solo, like the biggest skeptic of the Force, may have some type of Force.
Some connection to the Force somewhere in the family line.
That would be interesting to see in this next one.
Yeah.
Because I wonder if my real question, are there going to be any Jedi or anything with a lightsaber or any, you know?
Well, it's a weird time period. I think the only Jedi we have...
I mean, the Jedi are like...
They're extinct, yeah.
Obi-Wan
they're dead.
Is Obi-Wan,
Yoda.
right?
Yeah.
Obi-Wan and Yoda, and that's it. So I highly doubt it.
Yeah. I mean, like, Darth Vader has a lightsaber.
Darth Vader is out there somewhere, but we got our little...
So like,
we got our Darth Vader in Rogue One. I doubt they'd go there.
At what point is this going to take place, though? Is this... How old is he?
Yeah, like from like childhood to...
Are they going to... Because I haven't seen if they casted any, like, children.
Yeah.
Like how we saw with, like, they did with Rey. Or not with Rey, with Jin. So, you know, they, like, have, like, some kid cast. So you're like, oh, okay. So it's going to show her when she's younger. It's like, okay, this one's supposed to be her when she's, like, 5. This one's with her when she's, like, 9 or whatever. You know? So I'm wondering if there's going to be any of that in there, or if it's just going to be, what's his name? Alden Ehrenreich?
Alden Ehrenreich?
Ehrenreich?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm assuming they'd just stay with Alden Ehrenreich, and I mean, the most you can chop off is from New Hope is probably like, I don't know, 10 years? Does that sound right? From just based on the way the actors look?
Yeah. Well, because think about it. How old is Han Solo in Episode 4? He's like 27, 28 maybe?
I mean, around there, I guess.
Which is kind of weird that Princess Leia is like 19 at that point.
Yeah.
But still, whatever.
Do you know how many years are in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope?
20,
Is it 20? I believe it's 22. So this takes place probably halfway between Sith and A New Hope.
Yeah, you think? So it's like right before Rogue One?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Rogue One happens like moments before.
Yeah.
So it'd have to be probably a few years.
At least, yeah. It's probably like 10 years before Rogue One. I actually, when it was announced, was not really too keen on it.
Same.
I didn't think... I mean, Han Solo is such an iconic character, and Han Solo and Harrison Ford are so intertwined that it's hard to picture anyone else doing it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we get to see a cool story about how he meets Chewbacca, how that comes into play. Donald Glover is Lando, which I'm really stoked about. Donald Glover is awesome.
Sir Childish Gambino.
Yeah, he's a multi-talented dude. And this is my big hope for the movie, is the main protagonist would be Boba Fett.
That would
Protagonist?
Antagonist, yeah. Yeah.
Han Solo's a real dick in this one.
Yeah. It's actually the Boba Fett movie.
Yeah.
But in Jedi, when they're on the sail barge, you kind of get a sense that Han Solo's at least heard of Boba Fett.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, obviously he saw him.
Yeah, he was
like,
in
Boba Fett.
5.
He goes, Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Boba Fett, where?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
But you didn't hear his name. Like, talking about him.
I think there's some past connection there.
He definitely knows. Well, he's got to know all of the bounty hunters. As a smuggler, he has to have that information.
I think it'd be really sick to see, like, maybe, like, IG-88 in there for
for sure, yeah. But I feel like they need a strong antagonist to push the story forward, or else we're just going to have him like fuddling around with Woody Harrelson and meeting Chewbacca, which is all interesting, but
I think Boba Fett deserves some screen time too, because he's such a badass character. Yet he was in.
He's probably. Oh man.
He's like.
He had like one line.
I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like the biggest Boba Fett guy.
Less screen time than Darth Maul.
Yeah.
And, you know, it would be even worse if they hadn't put him into the episode 4 and the special editions and that Jabba the Hutt scene and everything.
No.
Because originally he wasn't in there at all. Because he wasn't even a character until the holiday special in 1978, and they had like this.
He hadn't even been conceptualized.
Yeah, it was the stupidest animation. He was like, I don't even know what kind of animal it was supposed to be that he was riding. He's riding this huge, like, it was like a dinosaur. It wasn't like a crate dragon. It wasn't like a rancor. It wasn't anything I've ever seen in the Star Wars universe. It was just like a giant, like, dinosaur. It was just a bunch of weird colors, and it's trippy. And also Chewbacca. I'm wondering if they're going to go into Chewbacca's family at some point, because in the holiday special,
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna go there.
We shouldn't ever go there again.
But he's got a wife, a son, and like an old grandfather that's barely alive. Like, I think his son's name is Lumpy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But I watch it I've watched it every Christmas for the last 4 years. I have to do it.
Yeah, we should never go back to that. I'm pretty sure George Lucas has said that was one of the greatest mistakes of his filmmaking career, is greenlighting that, and it wasn't even him.
No, it was like this guy that like edited like concerts or music videos or something in the 70s, and that's why like the weird like variety shows where it's like there's a quick little comedy thing, and then there's like some band comes out and performs this, and it looks all trippy or whatever, and that's why like it's just random like that. But then they try to like build it into the story. Like this Imperial officer comes in there with like the stormtroopers into their house on Kashyyyk, but Lumpy's like looking at this little computer thing. It's got like Jefferson Airplane, the band, like they're playing on it, and so like,
good God.
And then so one of the Imperial officers just sits
crazy.
there and stares at it, and then like it's just like the screen dissolves, and then you see like that like trippy sequence of music that's like, what is even going on here?
Yeah, no thank you. It would be cool to see Kashyyyk again, though.
Yeah, I would really like to see Kashyyyk again. Especially, I mean, there's that new animation, that new animated series that's coming out. So that's one possibility.
Oh, I meant in the Han Solo film. I'm still on that.
Yeah.
That would be cool to see. Well, I mean,
all the Wookiees,
it'd be hard to.
They're all like enslaved, right? Like they're all, because they're serving the Empire, and they're used as like slaves or.
So I think that is in Legends now.
Of course, yeah.
So
it gets befuddled.
Yeah.
It's the Geonosians, I think, that they explained that built the parts for the Death Star.
Yeah, the Death Star.
Rather than the Wookiees, because originally the Wookiees were enslaved and they built all the parts for the Death Star and all that. But yeah, they changed it. And then also, that's part of why they say that Saw Gerrera's voice is like that. Is that it could have been some type of battle on Geonosis with some type of what was it, like an insecticide, and then like he breathed it in too much, and that's why his voice is all messed up.
Jane, are we not still friends? So what about you guys? I laid it out for me. I want Boba Fett in this movie. I don't care how you give him to me, as long as he's badass.
Yeah.
I would like to see how Han and Chewie met up now that all that stuff is relegated to Legends. And that's pretty much all I care about.
Yeah. I know that one part, like, everyone's saying that either what they want to see or what they think is going to happen was that it's going to show when he wins the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to
and I guess
Falcon.
The Falcon?
Yeah, the Falcon.
I guess it's supposed to be a more of a Western type thing, so it's kind of weird, but it's by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who also did the 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, and also Lego Movie and all that stuff. So
Okay.
it's like it might be some type of buddy cop type thing, like 22 Jump Street.
That'd be
That'd be
cool with
interesting.
him and Donald Glover. Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to definitely be like, funny.
More on the funny side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be cool. I like, that specifically is gonna be a cool thing to see, is like more humor in some, because I don't think humor belonged as much in Rogue One.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not.
I liked, what
Everybody
they added
dies.
with K2. Yeah, I mean, they had to add a little bit in there with K2 and stuff, and then a lot of it's kind of physical humor a little bit, but it's like, I think that it is interesting to go to different genres, for all these different standalones and stuff.
Definitely.
It's gonna be cool.
John, do you have any thoughts about what you like to see go down the Han Solo film?
Yeah, I liked how different like Rogue One was from the original episodes. Like the filming was different, the vibe was different, and if they do the same thing or like a similar thing, like a different vibe to the Han Solo films, and kind of like set it apart from everything else,
Yeah.
then I think it would be a pretty good success.
I want Boba Fett.
Yeah,
You want
I-
different vibe.
I
I
also
would
want
prefer
Boba Fett though.
Is
Also.
that unanimous?
I think everyone wants Boba
I love
Fett
Boba
in general.
Fett.
Yeah.
He's a badass and he just needs more
Okay,
screen time.
you had a little bit of more insight to this. There was a Boba Fett film set to release,
Yes.
directed by Zack Zack Snyder? Who was it?
I don't think it was Zack Snyder.
No, who was it?
Let's
look it up.
fact check real quick.
Yeah, but anyways, he directed Fantastic Four. It was really shitty, so they canceled the whole thing.
Yeah, so basically what happened, I'm still trying to find the name of this guy. I think it was Frank Trigg. Let me make sure. Oh, Josh Trank. Frank Trigg's a UFC fighter. Okay, so Josh Trank was set to direct it. We know that. And shortly after that, he directed Fantastic Four, which bombed completely and fabulously to the tune of a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes, and maybe even more damning, a 19% audience score.
That's pretty
That's-
bad for an audience score.
that's-
And
sad.
that is not movie critics, that is fans of the Fantastic Four
That's probably the worst review I've
that went to see the film
ever seen.
and
I didn't see
hated
it.
it. I didn't see it
I-
either.
I don't think any of us saw it.
But anyways, that was such a tire fire that Disney pulled the entire project. Unfortunately,
That's so sad.
that is very sad.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it gets revived. I mean, I don't know how you'd suss out a whole film with Boba Fett. He's this kind of quiet, solitary, badass bounty hunter character.
Yeah.
It'd be weird to see another side of him.
How
Like-
old's the kid that played him in
Oh shoot, I don't know. Well, I mean, he was probably 14 in Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith came out in 2005. It's 2017. He's probably like 20. What's 14 plus 12? 26.
Oh, he's like our age.
Yeah, he's like our age. So, I mean, you could get that, but
That'd be interesting.
that would be interesting.
I don't know if he's a good actor.
Yeah, neither do I. And remember, he is a non-modified clone of Jango Fett, so he
Yeah.
ages normally.
True. That whole thing's weird. I keep on hearing, even on podcasts for like Star Wars and like, people that should know this still go on about how stormtroopers are clones. Like they're leftover clones.
They're not.
And it's like, nah, dude, there's the Imperial Academy. They take you when you're young. And you know that in the beginning of A New Hope, Luke said that he wanted to go off to the Academy. He's talking about the Imperial Academy.
Yeah.
To go become an Imperial pilot. he was going to become a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Damn.
Luke Skywalker wanted to get off that farm so he could become a stormtrooper.
I did feel like it was a little implied, though, that the clones became the stormtroopers. I mean, we have the armor, we have the massive army,
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't really figure it out until, and that explains the whole thing, how the clones were, these great warriors, and then you see stormtroopers bumping their heads on closing doors,
and missing every
and
shot.
missing everything.
Yeah.
They're just it's like it's a factory. It's not specialized soldiers. But there was elite groups that were still clones that were left over from the Clone Wars. But those, I mean, by the time with the accelerated aging that A New Hope came around, they were mostly relegated to that, like elite factions.
And then even into, Rebels, they're still not clones, it's...
Yeah.
Because, the clones at that time, they were, probably, they look pretty aged.
Like
They were
Rex.
up into their 50s.
Rex
was in
is
his
old
50s.
and bald. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but for those clones to be still active, I mean, they could have gone up to, 10 years after Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah, I mean,
But,
they could have been
what-
effective soldiers for a while after that. I mean, there was still
Yeah.
some... I'm sure there were still some in the Imperial ranks, but it was mostly,
Yeah.
by that time, just common idiots bumping their heads and
Yeah, they
slipping
just-
on things.
I love that. Like on Star Wars Rebels, there's one episode where they get Wedge out of the Imperial Academy. Wedge Antilles gets out of the Imperial Academy. So that's pretty cool. And so it kind of shows how that worked out for them. So it's kind of interesting to see what would have happened if Luke Skywalker entered the Imperial Academy.
Yeah, that Death Star would have never been exploded through the opening that was the size of a womp rat. only a force sensitive person could have done that. Which is a good way to segue into our thoughts on Rogue One. Now we are getting into this podcasting game at a great time. Like I said, it's a great time to be a Star Wars fan, but we're a little behind. We'll talk about Rogue One. It's been out for a while. I don't think we have to worry about Star Wars. What are you even talking about? Wow, that was rough. We might edit that one out. Spoilers. We don't have to worry about spoilers, not Star Wars, because it's been out for over a month now. So I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. The thing that we were just talking about, Luke shooting the womp rat hole, which was probably one of the dumbest things about A New Hope, is there being a flaw in the Death Star that exploded the whole thing. They took the dumbest thing about A New Hope, explained it, and made it awesome.
Yeah. They threw it into the almost the center of the entire plot point. It's like, this is what vindicates him. It's like, you know what? Like, I put this, the reactor is real shitty, so it'll just explode if you hit it.
That was probably the most genius way they could have covered that.
I couldn't think of a better way.
Yeah.
to have covered one of the dumbest things about Star Wars.
So,
and it was I thought it was brilliant.
Did
brilliant.
he design the exhaust port also, or did he just design the fact that the reactor would destroy the entire system?
I'm sure he designed the exhaust port.
Yeah, and then that's probably what was at the end of that message, because she didn't hear the end of it, or what? Did she hear the end of it?
No,
the planet started pretty much exploding.
Yeah.
As it was going down, it kind of cut out.
Mm-hmm.
But one shot and the whole system goes down. That's how you said it. The whole system goes down.
Favorite character.
Yeah, K2 was amazing. But yeah, that was probably my favorite part of Rogue One, was the retconning with the Death Star flaw. That, and there's so much to get into Rogue One. Of course, Vader, the castle,
I think Vader saved the movie for me in a way.
Yeah.
I felt Disney's presence throughout the movie.
Kind of reining it in.
Yeah, like
reining in the violence and.
Yeah, I had a lot of like high expectations, and yeah, I was thinking it would be more like Vietnam or like Saving Private Ryan, like on like D-Day. But I just feel like it was kind of dumbed down a little. It was still good, but if it weren't for Vader, I probably would have thought it was just like an okay movie.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that I guess that last scene was part of the reshoots.
Yeah. Originally, Vader was gonna like hunt down every single person.
I think Vader killed everybody at the end there, and that's what I read. That he originally killed pretty much all the main cast.
That would have been pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
But that sequence, it's kind of like that. Like, do you watch Rebels?
I don't. No.
Dude, you guys really need to get on it, because there's this one, I think it's in that one episode that you watched, that season 2 finale?
Yeah, season 2 finale.
The, blast doors open, and then he just ignites the saber right there, and he's just standing there and just badass.
That was, I think that might be my favorite scene in Star Wars of all time. That was something straight out of a horror film, dude. That was like Alien.
Yeah.
It was like pure savagery.
Yeah, pure savagery. I mean, the corridor, and you can tell in the rebels' faces, they're absolutely horrified. There's no escape. They know it. The lightsaber just starts chopping people, holds the guy to the ceiling, slices him in half.
You see where the guy pretty much gives up, he's like, help us, and like you're like, it's not opening, and he's like, take it.
Sticks his saber through the blast door.
Such a sick shot too, and then it goes to the guy just runs and just jumps in there, and he's like, launch.
That scene like really caught me off guard, because like I didn't expect that. Like it was kind of like a really dark scene, and like it was super intense, and like I just didn't expect that to happen.
I'm with you though. If it wasn't for that scene, the movie would have felt totally incomplete.
Yeah, I really like the castle was so sick, and I'm excited because I really have a feeling that we're going back there in 8.
I hope so.
I really have a feeling that there's going to be something. Maybe we'll go back to it and it's destroyed.
With Kylo Ren and his fascination with Vader, I really hope we go back there.
Do you know what I really want to see? Is I want to see them cast a young Kylo Ren and have like a little flashback type thing. Kind of, because, Star Wars, the episodic films like the Skywalker saga, they're all linear storytelling, whereas Rogue One, you go in, still it kind of does the beginning part, she's young, so it's not like she starts older and then she goes young, but she has little flashbacks, and they kind of explain it. It's like, oh, she was asleep, so that's what her dream was. But then there's that little thing where she's on Coruscant, with her parents and stuff, and they're like drinking and stuff, and they look out the window, and Galen's like, Jin, what's wrong? Jin.
Yeah, I definitely think we should have like some of that like Kylo version of that.
Yeah,
do a lot of
exactly.
explaining of how he felt left out and started turning like to the dark side, or just started hating his family more and more.
Yeah, like see like maybe like a little glimpse of like maybe a physical altercation with Han Solo. Like like fuck you, Dad, like that whole type of thing. Like
another one of my favorite scenes from Rogue One is the hologram scene, where he's explaining everything to Jin, and he says, deep inside I've plotted the seeds of my revenge, I think is what he says.
Yeah, that
was super powerful, and we got so much of what's great about Star Wars is how fleshed out the universe is. And we got to see, like, I buy all the concept art books and like the visual guides and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
there's characters in there that we see for like that have like a minute of screen time, and there's this whole crazy backstory. Two of Saw's crew, they have weird names. You'll know what I'm talking about, though. The aliens, or the alien with like the breathing.
Got the little tubes.
Oh,
yeah. I think his name is Two Tubes.
Two Tubes.
Actually. yeah,
Yeah,
Two Tubes.
Yeah, it is.
That guy's awesome. Rogue One brought us so many cool new characters.
Do you know what I really liked was the character that he had, like the scout trooper, the black scout trooper helmet.
Oh yeah,
That's cool. I like that because we haven't seen that in Star Wars. Because it's like, you know, like in like Star Wars galaxies and stuff, it doesn't matter what you are, you can wear whatever armor. You think like, oh, maybe like this dude killed a stormtrooper or whatever, scout trooper. Just like took his helmet.
Many little things, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like little cool things that they dropped into the universe from different parts. You know, because that's like, you don't see that anywhere else, you know, until Return of the Jedi.
Tons of cool side characters, tons of cool new planets that I'm sure will get fleshed out in video games and things like that. Edu and Scarif was awesome.
Scarif was really cool.
Scarif was sweet. I'd love to see
like
what kind of...
Yeah.
I'd love to see what kind of like lizards and freaking...
Switch around from island to island.
Yeah, like sea monsters are living out there and things like that, which is... I mean, we didn't get too many creatures, but there wasn't really a place for it. We got Bogalic. Bogalic. We got Bogalic. But
yeah,
that was the only real. That was a kind of goofy.
Do you think that was needed at all?
I thought it was kind of shoehorned in.
Because that
maybe
kind of feels like
maybe shoehorned isn't the right word, but
the Wrath is similar to the Rathtar type thing, but the Rathtar thing in Force Awakens was more like, this is how they got out.
Yeah, it was a plot device.
Yeah, but this is like, oh, this is how he knows he's telling the truth. It's like,
it didn't have that effect
but
for me.
It's like, it's not a plot point. It's like,
yeah, it had the reason I didn't like Bogalic is because it had no effect on the plot. If it worked, by the time Jin got there, Saw would have been like, oh, you know what? Like, this is happening. I believe you. Let me help you. All that. But he's like, did you come here to kill me? To kill me? There's not much of me left. So it's like, Bodhi gets his brains tentacled, and it didn't advance the plot at all.
They also don't explain, like, really what's wrong with him. Like, you know, I guess Saw kind of says it makes you lose your mind, or whatever, and then
he trips out for a little bit in the cell,
like,
and then he's fine.
Oh, is he drugged? And then like he doesn't say anything, and then like it doesn't explain at what point he became okay enough to like pilot, you know, and remember that.
Yeah, we need some more cool Star Wars creatures for sure. The Rathtars made sense for the story, but I thought those were weird.
Yeah,
just like squids.
I just saw that they're releasing a Lego set of that whole scene.
Are they?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We need more cool Star Wars creatures.
Yeah.
We have a Rancor, a Black Series. I think it's a 3.75.
Yep.
Black Series, because it came with it's a big Rancor, but it came with it's to the scale of the 3 3/4 inch action figures. His name's Todd the Rancor. He's gonna be joining us in all our podcasts. The Rancor is such an iconic creature. Looks awesome. We need more of that.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to go back to the old, you know, the other planets. And some of the next. Oh, that would be so sick. Like
see
where
some
they're
people riding Rancor.
Yeah, it seems like all the cool stuff is on Dathomir.
Yeah.
Like Darth Maul and
Darth
the Zabrak. And
all the weird cults and the witches and.
One cool thing that you'd see in Rebels is all the cool creatures they have in that. That one's like filled with creatures. I'd like to see that come into the films, but like in a better way. It's just so weird how that was kind of shoehorned into that. I wonder if that was like a afterthought, like something like, you know, like, should we add something like some weird creature into this one?
It wasn't necessary.
It wasn't.
Because like he didn't gain any knowledge out of it.
Yeah. Bodhi, Rook, local boy, huh? Anyways, what characters did you guys love from Rogue One?
I think I liked Galen He was probably the one I connected to the most. He just seemed so innocent and just determined to, like, destroying the Death Star and, like, lying all his life. I don't know. It was more like emotional for me. He was probably the most emotional character, risking his life. And,
Exactly.
I mean, he was practically a slave, so. And all the other characters just kind of got picked off too fast, and I just didn't really have time to connect with them. But.
Well, I just read that they're doing a book about Jin and her fighting with Saw. So there's that area, and then Chirrut and Baze and their backgrounds and stuff, which is kind of cool. So I think that and then, there's Catalyst and stuff like that. So there's other stuff.
Yeah, I'm reading Catalyst right now.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but once you're done,
Definitely.
I need to do that. I need to read it. So it's like, I think that the characters are a little like they're at least they're going to be a little bit more fleshed out, but I wish that they did show more Galen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I agree.
As far as the scope of the movie, though, Galen was very powerful to me. That sets in motion the entire franchise.
Yeah.
And Mads Mikkelsen, not a very emotional actor, but he made you feel the emotion of the character through his portrayal of Galen Erso. I felt like, there wasn't any emotional scenes of him, like, crying or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a monotone.
He's a scientist. He's logical.
Yeah, he's this logical scientist, but you can see the desperation in the message that Jin gets, and you just get this feeling that he's a good dude that's kind of trapped in this bad situation, and wants to do right by the galaxy and his set of morals and his daughter. So Galen was great, actually. I loved Galen. I did really like Cassian. Cassian showed us a whole side of the rebellion that we didn't really get to see.
Yeah, like how they aren't all like goody two shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
At the very beginning of the movie.
The very first scene,
yeah.
He's assassinating an informant. And it's like this is a war, and he even says, I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old. This is a war. Sometimes even the good guys have to make hard decisions.
Yeah.
So that brought a realness to the rebellion, a real grittiness to the rebellion.
And it was weird that Diego Luna did such a good job playing that type of role, even though, like, in real life he's such a nice, like, kind of innocent type of man. Like, he's always so excited at all of the Star Wars stuff, but it's like he can play that, like, that kind of, like, cold character. He's, like, cold, but at the same time he's, like, it's the same thing that Chirrut says, like, you bring yours with you, like your cage, your prison, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like he did that really well.
He brought a realness to the rebellion that I loved. So and Diego Luna, I thought he did a great job, dude.
Did you hear that he might be Scarface? A reboot of Scarface?
No way.
Really?
I just read that today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for him. See, Star Wars leads to greatness.
Yeah.
Except for if you're Hayden Christensen. And then you just make Jumper and never do anything else.
Or Jake Lloyd and just end up in a mental institution.
Poor Jake Lloyd, man.
Yeah.
Respect to Bananakin.
Dude, that picture is so great, huh?
Yeah, that is great.
So, with this episode, we're going to post this on YouTube, and then, like, I'll put up pictures with it. So, at this point, I'm going to put up that picture of
Bananakin.
Bananakin. Did you see that, Gio?
I did, yeah, I did. I saw a meme. It was like, wow, he really did turn to the dark side, and it shows, like, mugshot, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yes. And I did like the kind of almost like buddy cop thing between him and K2.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
dude. And K2, okay, for me, K2 had the most emotional death, man.
Definitely,
dude.
Yeah, because there was like
first one. That was the first part of. Well, not. Okay, the first time I saw that, like, saw Rogue One, you know, I can get into movies, and I'm not afraid to say I cried like 4 times during the movie. It's not like straight up cry, you know, but it's like movie cry, like you're, you know, it's a little bit easier because it was in 3D, but it's like...
my heart sunk when I saw that. And you can kind of tell it was about to happen, and I audibly, like, in the theater on opening night, I was like, dude, no! Dude, no!
Don't do this.
Yeah, and he was the one, like, we know none of these characters appear ever again in the franchise, pretty much, as far as we know. So we kind of go in knowing everybody's going to die, but K2 is the one that I was like, maybe they can save him somehow. You know, he's a droid.
Yeah.
He can maybe, like, shoot his droid consciousness up with the plans or something, like, goofy like that. I don't know. I was not ready for K2 to go.
I know.
And K2 is our pretty much our only source of comic relief in that movie. Except, Chirrut, yeah, with that...
Is her foot okay?
Yeah.
And also...
the blind.
Yeah.
Like
Are you kidding me? I am blind.
Yeah, he was great. Did you know that he created that whole, like, an entirely different type of martial arts just for that character?
Really?
Yeah. Created his own type of martial arts. What's his name?
Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen, yeah.
Dude's
yeah, he's amazing. He's done, like, dozens of, you know, different movies, you know, all fighting. So he knows so many different type of martial arts, and he always does it differently for each one.
He sounds like the next Jackie Chan.
Could be, man. He's bad, dude. He's a bad dude.
See, Jackie Chan's cool and all, but dude,
Jackie Chan had a sweet Saturday
he
morning.
didn't create his own.
Yeah.
Dude, that was such a good. Was it Jackie Chan Adventures?
Yeah, he'd like steal like amulets and
he'd run across trains and still make it. Like,
Is that the animated
TV
show? Yeah.
That was amazing. I used to watch that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I enjoyed it. It was weird and ridiculous, and like I look back at it, and like, it's weird.
It is a weird show.
It's really weird. It's a really weird concept. It's like, it's kind of like that, the one with Mike Tyson. Have you seen that one?
Oh my god.
Mike Tyson Mysteries or whatever.
I didn't know Mike Tyson had his own show.
He has his own animated series on Adult Swim where they, it's like Scooby-Doo.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's like Scooby-Doo, but it's like Mike Tyson. He does his voice and the whole thing. He like writes on it and everything.
So anyways, let's get into the main Rogue One antagonist, which is Director Krennic.
Yes.
He almost chokes on his aspirations.
Almost.
but he doesn't. Well, he kind of explodes. But he was a great antagonist for me. The kind of like super politician type, maneuvering his way up the Imperial ranks. Interesting villain. I wish we could have seen him in action a little bit. That's my only gripe. There was a shot that was deleted that didn't make the final cut of the film where he was kind of walking on Scarif.
That is what I wanted to see.
And he did have a big, sweet looking gun that I wish he would have popped a couple rebels with.
Well, he took it out at the very end when he sees Jyn on that platform, right? Is that the big pistol that you're talking about?
Yeah, I don't remember him whipping it out.
Okay, so yeah, he was pointing it at her.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so apparently that pistol is supposed to be some old style, like it would be the same thing as like someone carrying like a revolver, antique revolver. Yeah. So it's like that type of thing.
We never got to see it go off.
Yeah.
So yeah, that and Bo Gallic, Bo Gallic.
Does he? No, he does. He kills. No. Does he shoot? He doesn't shoot.
No, he never shoots it. We never get to hear it go off. The Death Troopers shoot Lyra. Is that what you're talking about?
Troopers shoot Lyra, and yeah, he doesn't shoot that gun. That sucks.
Yeah.
I want to go and see it at in Disneyland. They have the what's it called?
The room with all the stuff in it. The room with all the props.
Yeah. It's in Tomorrowland, and they have all the props and stuff. And they just they just put in the stuff for Rogue One. And I think they have that gun in there. And I need to read more about it, but...
Yeah, so it was interesting to see him be so ruthless and, like, single-minded. Like, this is all I live for, the Empire, pretty much. Moving up in the Empire. Where if you get into Catalyst a little bit, him and Galen are actually... They go back a ways, and they're like friends pretty much, and you see a flashback of them having drinks on Coruscant together.
Yeah, Rogue One.
I wish he were like a little more badass, because I feel like the whole time he was like complaining, like, oh, this is my achievements, and like I built the Death Star, and
yeah,
like he just, like, I've kind of got like a vibe that he was like an underling, you know, like that's why I thought of him. And I wish they could have had that scene with him walking in the beach and killing some rebels, you know, just like a badass like Director Krennic. But, you know, he was just kind of like there and complained a few times and then was blasted into nothingness by the Death Star.
But that part in the trailer, when he's walking in his white cape, he's just dragging through the water.
That was a beautiful scene.
That was beautiful.
Gaff. Like, he does not even care if his...
Really bummed that didn't make the cut.
Yeah, I know. And then there's, like, the stormtroopers, like, the floating dead in the water and stuff in that scene.
And the other clip in the trailers that they didn't show in the actual movie was when he was standing there with his pistol and he was just glaring. I was like, dude, this guy looks like a freaking badass. But you know, I was like, this guy must be freaking evil, man. And then like,
and you get this vibe. It's like you get a glimpse into the entire mindset of the Imperials. I think in the scene where they blow up Jeddah City.
Yeah.
And you see him on the Death Star, and he's kind of like, oh. It's beautiful. Like, it almost reminds me of Stalin, where he says, you know, a single death is a tragedy, but a million deaths is a statistic. Like, it's this, don't care, I just slaughtered, like, tons of people. This is beautiful. Like, look at this weapon of mass destruction that I've just created.
Especially when it was, like, the holy city, like, of, like, the Kyber Temple. They took all of that out, and it's like, they, you know, part of it is probably about getting rid of the whole, like, every trace of the Jedi, but also Krennic just wanted to, like, blow shit up, like, just to show that he could do it. And I think that they should have had a better reaction for everyone else in the room. It was kind of weird in that shot, you know? The first time it looks like, when it looks back at them, they look kind of disappointed, but it's like, would Imperial officers clap?
Yeah, like, I feel like they didn't really care that much. Like, they should have cared more.
Yes. Yeah, I think that, like, some of them should have, like, at least gone out of character, like, as Imperial officers and be like, dude, like, what?
Look at that.
Damn.
But I thought his end was so fitting and so cool and such a karma, like,
he definitely deserved it. Like,
a karma moment. And you see, I'm so glad Cassian didn't just kill him, and Jin didn't get to just kick him off the edge or whatever. And you see him look up, and you see the green of the laser in his eyes.
Yes.
And just boom, destroyed by his own beautiful creation.
So
Good
smart.
character. I wish we could have seen him more in action, as we touched on, but overall loved him. What's the actor's name? I can't.
He was in Dark Knight Rises, wasn't he?
I don't know.
I think so.
We're the worst right now.
We are the worst. I mean, I know it, but
it's like I know this on other occasions, and then just right now.
I loved seeing the Death Star fire and like the Phase 1, how it created this huge, like, weird, like, cloud and like there's like a thunderstorm.
It looks like a nuclear
and,
bomb.
Yeah,
that was sick.
It was
lightning.
beautiful. Yeah, it was so beautiful.
Ben Mendelsohn. See, we knew that.
I feel so stupid now. Like, when I, like, look at stuff like that, I'm like, of course.
How are we doing a Star Wars podcast, man? Are you sure we're fit for this?
Yeah, I don't think we're fans.
Ben Mendelsohn. No, I knew that.
Yep.
Yeah, Ben Mendelsohn was great. still haven't talked about the main character. Well, actually, what did you guys think of the Death Troopers?
The Death Troopers were so sick.
Those guys
So
were sick.
I remember in the opening scene, I was like, dude, what is going on? Are these robots?
Yeah, because their voices were all scrambled.
They're scrambled,
Yeah.
so only like they can only understand each other and Krennic. So it's like, so the only thing they can do is just like follow Krennic, like follow his exact movements. Like, I started listening to the audiobook for Rogue One, and I forgot exactly what it said, but it said that they basically followed him everywhere he moved, and it's like an extension of his brain. You know, they're like like another hand to Krennic. You know, so they just do all the work for him, and you know, it's like it doesn't explain who, you know, where they came from, who they are, if they're just like special troopers or if they were some type of clone.
There was a rumor that they were clones.
Yeah, there's a rumor that they're clones. There's a rumor that they were zombie clones.
I just heard that they're like the top of the
clones.
rank.
That's how they got the name the Death Troopers.
Yeah, because originally in what was that Star Wars app that they had? It was kind of like a tower defense type thing, or one of those. It was I don't know. There's so many Star Wars apps. It was one of the games. They had like the zombie Death Troopers before then. So it's like, you know, they were like just zombies with like machine guns and stuff.
Yeah, it would have been cool to expand on it a little bit, like get some backstory. But the movie, I mean, I don't blame them. The movie was so tight and quick on its feet already that we didn't have time to go into these complementary characters a whole lot. So should we kind of touched on Vader a little bit. Should we go more into him before we hit Jin?
Yeah, I love just seeing the vulnerability, you know, when it shows like the bacta tank emptying and you see him in there. He's got no arms.
That was
no
a very
legs.
emotional moment for me too.
That was cool, man.
Like, damn, dude.
Because I saw it like in that like there's some stills that were from that behind the scenes promo thing that they released a few weeks before the release of Rogue One, and it showed like the prop room, and it had that whatever the white furry guy that kind of looked like a Wampa, but he wasn't.
Oh yeah, I think I saw
I
that.
wish it was in the movie more. Like I
know he was supposed to be. he was supposed to be
yeah.
a big part of the movie, and then they took him out, as you know. And there's a few characters in there that were like really cool looking, and they had like a whole backstory to them. And then now they're like they cut like most of their parts out. But basically, they had the guy wearing those pants and like the stilts or whatever, because there's a guy in there obviously that's not a CG. And in the background you see it's like a little like a model, and then some concept drawings for Vader, basically. Yes. For a person with no arms and no legs.
There's like a dummy in the background or something with it.
That was when we knew we were going to get him in some capacity without his suit. And that was a cool scene to me because that's the only time... Well, I mean, I guess we get him, you know, right after he got crisped in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
We get him with, you know, getting his suit put on. And then we see him in Rebels, where his mask gets cut, which was sick. Awesome.
See his like Sith eyes, like his like red.
Yeah, but you get to see this little glimpse of this guy that's, you know, still Anakin and always in so much pain that in his spare time he hangs out in a bacta tank basically and just
floats around.
just floats around.
Especially on Mustafar. How sick is it
that was awesome. When they showed that scene immediately, like the only lava planet you know is Mustafar. Yeah. And I love how they didn't like have the title too, like the other all the other planets. I was like, right when it showed, I was like, Mustafar. It's like, oh crap! Like,
I wonder if he really wanted his hideout to be there, or if Palpatine's just an asshole making him like wallow in his.
Like,
I know,
like the place that he was cut up, like
because it's like how I kind of likened it to Kylo Ren, like when he hits himself, like where like the blaster wound in Force Awakens from Chewbacca. Chewbacca shoots him in the hip, and he's punching himself so that he can harness the pain into
Yeah,
the dark
yeah,
side.
Yeah, like turn it into power.
I think it's the same type of thing, but it's like he lives there and he like meditates there and he like draws in
yeah,
the
it,
dark
it makes
side.
it makes him stronger there.
Yeah,
'Cause he
so
just,
he
like,
draws in his anger, and it's like basically where where Padme, not
where-
where she died,
but where
but
she
yeah,
pretty much-
basically like pretty much where she died.
and where he got cut all of his limbs off,
Yeah,
so you can
exactly,
just look at
where
that
he
and be
really
like,
transformed.
yeah,
And he just sits there in his back tank in all that on
Yep.
the place where he got chopped. So that was really cool for me. And then of course we already touched on the ending scene, which
Beautiful.
is
So
one of
sick.
the best scenes in all of Star Wars forever.
I could watch that over and over again. I have watched it
Yeah.
over and over again.
same.
There was a clip someone put on YouTube. It was like a few days after they released it, and it was like the last few minutes of Rogue One and then the first few minutes of Episode 4, but they took out like the the title and the crawl and everything, and it syncs up really well, and it's like it makes Episode 4 so much more powerful. It's pretty crazy because you see how Vader was then, see how he acts after that, and in the next movie that's supposed to take place, minutes or hours later or whatever, whenever they can catch up to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that close to the. I don't expect Rogue One to end so close to Episode 4.
literally
Yeah,
segues right into it.
Yeah, but I always wonder how long it took them to
Chase down the Tantive.
yeah,
Tantive, whatever it's called.
yeah. I've heard it both ways.
Yeah.
I've heard
Tantive and Tantive.
yeah. I mean, Tantive just sounds better.
Yeah.
Tantive kind of sounds dumb, but then it's like I've heard a few people who work, for Lucasfilm and stuff on podcasts or interviews, whatever, call it the Tantive, and they work there, so I guess they're right. But I'm just gonna call it the Tantive 4.
yeah. Speaking of spaceships, one of my favorite parts of the movie was when they get the plans and then the destroyer comes right in. And that rebel ship is just
it's
about
just
to go into
fucked,
light
it's
speed
just
and just rips in half. Yeah,
Yeah.
boom, psh, and it just that was absolutely amazing.
That entire
Yeah.
crap.
Is that the best space battle in Star Wars, or would
Return
you
of
give
the
that
Jedi is
to
really good. I think. I don't know.
Sith? I was gonna say.
Yeah,
the
I
beginning
think
of Sith
Revenge of the
That's
Sith. There's just so much going on. They're
Yeah,
flying
the
through
buzz droids.
yeah.
and-
Sometimes when I look at the prequels, though, the space, I don't know. I guess it's the same now. It's all done the same way, but it's it felt like it was cheating. When I first saw it, it's they're not making these models and stuff like that. But now they don't do that anyways. So it's the originals. It's cool because it's I mean, they've changed them over time, even on the special editions. So if you go and watch 4, 5, and 6 on Blu-ray, you're going to see mostly digital ships and stuff. You're not going to see as many of the original models. But if you go back and watch the very original ones, you see, all of the models that they used, and it doesn't look CGI. But, yeah, I think that a lot of the parts in the prequels had the best battles, as far as... I think Revenge of the Sith is really good for lightsaber battles and space battles.
Yeah.
The whole prequels were good for lightsaber battles.
Yeah, they were just insane, and I like seeing Yoda in that time. And in
Yes.
Clone Wars, Yoda in Clone Wars is such a badass. He's just doing flips and stuff, just kind of
All of the Yoda flips. Yes, so I was super satisfied with the space battle in Rogue One. I mean, there's so many cool scenes. We get to see a quick shot of the Ghost, I believe.
a few, yeah.
Yeah, we get to see when one of the members of the Rebel Squadron dies. That opens up the spot for Luke.
Yeah, Red 5.
Red 5, yeah. The hammerhead scene was
So sick.
Yeah, that was sick.
so
I love how
sick.
they brought those, because the hammerheads, you saw them first in Rebels, and then they brought them over to now, so it's pretty sick. And it was just that they used that. That was such a quick idea.
Yeah. Also, Raditz, dude, is a badass.
Dude, I wish he lived.
Yeah, me too.
Sucks.
Did you see Pablo Hidalgo?
Yeah.
Somebody asked him like what happened to Radis, and he just tweeted a picture of calamari.
Yep. Yeah, I thought that was great.
But yeah, he was the one when Jin was like pleading her case to the Alliance. Did we talk about Jin already?
No,
I
not
think
really. No.
I think we're gonna save that for the last one, I guess.
Yeah. So when Jin was pleading her case, Radis was pretty much the only one that was like, I think we should fight.
Yeah. It's like, does he want to just fight, or is it that he like is supporting her and stuff?
Yeah, and then when the guy gets the transmissions like saying, you know, we have rebel forces engaged on Scarif, Radis is already gone.
Yeah.
He's already dipped out. Like
he's out of there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's ready to go, man. Radis is sweet. So let's get to Jin, and then let's talk about the two characters that were CGI.
Ah, yes.
Jin, there wasn't a whole lot I didn't like about this movie, and like all the characters, I feel like I only have minor gripes with them. Jin was great, I guess. Wish we had more time to, you know, develop everybody, but she gets pulled into the fight. And I found her character believable, mostly, which I think was an accomplishment. And everything changes after she sees the hologram, and then she's ready to go. She doesn't care about anything at first. You know, she got abandoned by her parents. She feels like she got abandoned by Saw, and then she gets this revelation that her dad basically did all this stuff.
He's still alive.
Yeah, he's
first of
still
all.
alive, and he did all this stuff for her and for the freedom of the galaxy. And I think that really changes her character.
Yeah, it really does. It makes her actually want to work with the rebellion. You know, it makes her want to almost become the leader of the rebellion. You know, she's the first one that says, hey, we need to take care of this. And everyone was like, nope. And they're like, you know what? We're just going to do it anyways then. And, like, that was all her, for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, Jin was great. Everybody's seen the movie. We don't want to get into a full review of every character, but I liked her arc a lot.
I liked how she went from like not caring and not giving a crap, you know, and then like at the end she's like the most brave rebel there is, you know.
Yeah.
She kind of like she starts off as a nobody, and then she becomes like the most precious person in the galaxy.
Yeah,
in
pretty
order
much.
to destroy the Empire, at least start the destruction of the Empire.
Yeah, because they need her the most, not only to get to, you know, to get to Saw for the first part, and then they needed her to get to her father and all that. And
I wish they had a little more of Saw. I was expecting him more in the film.
Yeah.
A little more in the film instead of just the beginning and then that brief scene in Jeddah, and then he just kind of dies off.
Yeah. I haven't watched any of the second half of the new season of Rebels, but I've read that they're bringing him back or brought him back in Rebels. So, yeah, I need to get caught up because there's a lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah, I need to start watching that too.
Yeah. I have a feeling that we should just kind of like all start from the top because I watched it all up into, you know, the first half of the third season, and then I kind of just, you know, stopped for a while. I was gonna go back and watch them later, but we should all just
I mean,
start
we can
on that.
split in some Rebels episodes once we get going.
Definitely.
So when we first see Tarkin in the reflection of the Death Star window, I kind of thought that was all we were going to get of him, was just the reflection.
Yeah, I
Same.
thought that
I was
it.
like, I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And then he turns around and
Yeah.
basically gets into a giant argument with Ben Mendelsohn. And it looked... I think I could tell just because I knew going in that Peter Cushing died in
Yeah,
94.
Yeah.
And we had been following Rogue One for forever, and we kind of knew the whole deal. But my brother took my parents to see it and didn't say anything, and they had no idea until after.
Really?
Yeah,
they didn't say anything?
I mean, first of all, they didn't even know. They aren't like fans at all, really. So they didn't even notice that he was in the other films, the original trilogy, and so they I mentioned it to them after the movie, and they're like, "What? He was fake? Wow, they looked really real." And actually, Tarkin, I thought he looked pretty. I thought he looked pretty fake.
I think it just depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
And, with any type of graphics, you have to, suspend your disbelief a little bit. And I think they did as good as they could do.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. And, the cool thing about Star Wars in general is that it really has been at the forefront of technology. And sometimes being at the forefront, you suffer because you bring out something that people haven't seen before, but they're going to criticize the very first thing.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with Jar Jar. He was the first fully animated character, to be in a movie. So it's it's part of it was it's a cool idea, and there's a lot of things, I think George Lucas said that Avatar wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
And that's true. But, it's
but
story.
We got the evil that was Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
Darth Jar Jar.
Oh, dude, I love that whole theory.
That's an entire episode.
Yeah, that's
we need to talk about
another
that.
story.
That's a great one. Because that's almost real. No, dude.
Yeah, no.
I'll show you the truth.
He was responsible for getting Palpatine in power in the first place.
And also, George Lucas said, Jar Jar is the key to everything.
Please, God, no.
Okay.
He was probably my least favorite character. And he was pretty goofy, but
pretty sure he's everybody's least favorite character.
Yeah, but we'll do a whole episode on Jar Jar Binks. I think Jar Jar Binks would be a good episode to do. Be a fun one. We'll do that when we have our video casts, so we can look at the different things. There's different. There was an interview with the guy who did the voice for Jar Jar. I need to remember people's names. I'm just bad at that. There's all these people that I talk about, but I said that guy who did this. Anyways, that guy who did that. They talked to him, and it was pretty cryptic, but it was I think that Jar Jar was going to go to a whole different way, and then after the negative,
everybody just hated the shit out of him.
Yeah, so then they say that's when they created Count Dooku.
Oh my god.
Because Jar Jar Binks was supposed to fight against Yoda.
Oh no.
And then Yoda was supposed to kill Jar Jar.
If that were to happen, I wouldn't take the whole entire
There's
that
no
episode
way.
seriously,
dude.
How about let's just talk about this on the other episode?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
we're this is our first episode. We're going off on
so many tangents.
We were talking about Tarkin, and now we're into Jar Jar
killed by
Yoda.
But it's 3D characters when they're effective, when they're not.
Yeah.
I personally think it was really it worked.
Yeah, it did.
I knew he was dead, and obviously, so it's when I see it, I appreciate it for what it is. I really thought he wasn't going to turn around. I thought that was going to be it. It was just going to show maybe 2 scenes or something from him, from his back. I thought it was amazing when he turned around. They even did close-ups. They were really risky, and I think I like that they took those risks, and I liked probably jump ahead to the next recreated character, which is Leia. And I think they did well. It's just kind of weird to overlay a CGI image over a different actor.
Yeah, I'm glad they showed her for like a really brief second though. Like when she just said like we have hope. Like I thought that was a good enough time to just get a glimpse of her like Leia, and then it ends right there.
Yeah, and then everyone knows by now, of course, Carrie Fisher has passed away, but Disney has come out and said for sure that they have no plans of recreating her in CGI in any film, TV, anything from now on.
Yeah, I'm glad that like that's what they decided, because I feel like with like Gareth Edwards, like I think it's like fine to like recreate characters, but for the main episodes, it isn't Star Wars like religion to recreate characters, but like
it's weird. I know what you mean with like the standalone. It's kind of like a little bit more acceptable. I think so.
I saw a lot of people complaining about the way Carrie Fisher looked, and I actually thought she looked better than Tarkin.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think, and like people were like, "Oh, it's because you saw it for a shorter amount of time." I was like, "No, I think like her skin looked really good, and like I think, the parts that they missed on Tarkin was he has, in 4 he has a lot of really like." He's kind of like smooth and stoic, but at the same time he has like really quick movements of his head when he's talking to people. And every single scene, Peter Cushing has at least one hair like just coming off onto the side that you can see like a little highlight of one hair loose. So it would have been interesting to see 1 or 2 hairs loose, because it feels like they tried to go too polished with it. Whereas, they should make it a little bit more, make it look like it's a person who's acting rather than that character in the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I also think that Leia's age paid off for the CGI, because she was young, so her skin looks kind of like really well and like almost like fake, like, because she's just a young person. Well, Tarkin, like he's older.
Yeah, I'm sure it's harder to recreate all the
wrinkles and stuff.
Yeah,
so
and a lot of the expression is in the wrinkles. If he moves his mouth, all of the wrinkles.
Yeah, so I think like that's one of the reasons why Leia looked more real, was just because she was younger in that time, like in general. So
so the skin wasn't as hard to
recreate.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was our Rogue One synopsis. Now we're going to tell you a little bit about us and our podcast. The thing I love about Star Wars is I love the expansiveness of the universe, and how every character is connected, and how there's a backstory to everything. I love all the creatures, the Jedi and the Sith, the classic light and dark clash. A space epic. I love everything about it. It's nostalgia for me. My parents would rent the VHSs from Blockbuster of the old school trilogy. Nice. I have a lot of just fond memories of sitting around watching Vader, watching Luke, watching goofy little puppet Yoda, all the space battles, all the video games. I mean, it's such a great universe, and such a cool thing to be a part of and talk about with friends, and that's why I wanted to do the podcast. Is just how much I love it. And even growing up, I think I was in junior high when the prequel trilogy came out, and now that I'm a young adult, we're getting all these great Star Wars movies. So this was the best time to me to start a podcast, like right in the middle of this huge Star Wars revival.
It's like the perfect timing.
Yeah, it's perfect timing. So that's why I got with Josh, and we got with each other and we were like, dude, let's channel our ideas and our love for Star Wars into a podcast and like give our ideas out for other people to digest and just reach a whole other community of fans and get to interact with them.
Yeah, and kind of cover more of the adult demographic of the Star Wars community, you know, because, you know, I listen to a lot of different podcasts and, you know, watch Star Wars show and all that stuff, and it's, you know, it's not saying it's for kids, but they make it accessible for everyone, which I like that about Star Wars. That's one thing, is that it's really accessible to everyone. You could bring anyone there and they'll enjoy it. Like, my niece, she watches them, she loves them so much, and she's 3, so it's like, I haven't shown her the Force Awakens because I don't want her to see Han Solo die, and for a while I didn't show her. I only showed her Empire Strikes Back because no one important dies in that. Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's easier to handle because I showed her when she was probably like 1 or 2 maybe when we first started watching. Yeah, because almost every time I watch her, we'll watch Star Wars or all 3 of the original trilogy, or yeah. It's funny you say that. I have a 3-year-old myself, and he loves all the action figures, loves Rebels, loves like the Star Wars Lego video game. Mm-hmm. But when I tried to show him Empire, the Wampa scared the shit out of him. Oh, really?
Yeah, he was freaking out. He did not like the Wampa, man.
That's so funny.
But yeah, for the most part, Star Wars is for everyone. But once we're set up, we're gonna do lots of video casts, and our whole theme is gonna be it's Star Wars After Hours. So we're gonna have a whole like super rad like cantina set up, and it's gonna be sweet. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I love how like you can take it like literally, like Star Wars you can take literally or like figuratively, and I love how much history there is and how huge like the EU is, and like I just love how there's so much to talk about, and like how like you can, there's parts in like the history of Star Wars where like it's like actually like pretty like damn dark, you know, like the Sith and stuff, and then like in like Rebels and stuff, it's more for like the younger people, and there's just so much to talk about. Like it's a never ending. There's like a not like an ending point.
Yeah, there's really just so many stories to be told.
And all the comics and stuff like that coming out, just, you know, constantly there's new comics coming out, there's new books coming out. And, you know, as far as, you know, Disney and Lucasfilm, they've said that it's going to be, there's no stopping point. You know, episode 9 is going to be, 2019. And then they haven't announced what they're doing after that. But I know that they're not stopping.
Yeah, no way.
So I'm not sure if they're going to bring back another trilogy, if they're going to do a bunch more standalones, or, you know, not sure.
So with that, we're going to thank you guys for tuning in to our first episode of Star Wars After Hours. Had a lot of fun doing it. We're going to try and do it every Wednesday. It was a little all over the place. Again, this is our
first time.
This was our first episode, but we have so many cool ideas, so much cool content planned. This was just like our all over the place kind of recap and kind of introducing ourselves. With that, Josh has some ideas he's going to go ahead and plug away for us right now.
So right now we're doing an audio podcast. We still have to, we have stuff designed out to do. We need to build up the set and everything. But also one thing that we need help with is getting some good camera equipment, some better sound equipment, so that we can make it more professional and nice for all you guys. So, we're starting an Indiegogo campaign, and we will be having some toy giveaways. And if you donate $1 to the Indiegogo, you will have an entry to the toy giveaway. We haven't revealed what it is yet, but we'll post it on one of our or all of our social media sites. And also, we will be having a call-in show at some point once we have the video taken care of. For a $25 donation, you can take part in a conversation, in our call-in show. Plus, you get an entry to the toy giveaway. And if you would like to give a $100 donation, you can come up with your topic of Star Wars episode and call in on Skype and do a whole episode with us about whatever you want, as long as it's Star Wars. And I think that's pretty much it. I'll be posting some more information about that, and I'll keep everyone updated.
Yes, follow us on social media. Josh, we have a Facebook page.
Yeah, we do have a Facebook page. It's just facebook.com/Star Wars After Hours, I'm pretty sure. I know that the Twitter is SW After Hours, because Star Wars After Hours is too long for Twitter.
Yeah.
And Instagram, Star Wars After Hours.
So with that, I am Stefan Spallino. Thank you for listening. Boys, state your name for the record.
I'm Josh Combs.
And I'm Gian Spallino.
Star Wars After Hours. Thank you, and good night.
May the Force be with you.
So be it. Jedi. He's no good to me dead.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
You know what's going on?